you got different types of extraterrestrials. So they, this is a part of one of Dr. York's publications. And when you're talking about the detrimental robotoids, the day rows were grafted out of the tay rows. So these are day rows. So this is where you get the whole concept of the pigs were grafted out of these beings right here when you're talking about Yakub. Because when you understand the inception of Caucasians and things of that nature, not to be intrusive or cynical, but they're basically a genetic anomaly. They don't have an homogeneous origin. So you got some that came from the Canaanite bloodline, right? Then you got some that was grafted on Mars, on Lamu. Then you got some that was basically grafted out of these beings right here. So these are the Deirus, like I said, detrimental robotoid, to where these are diseased beings, and they have different diseases like trichinosis and things of that nature. So that's why the pig was grafted out of this being right here, because it's also connected to the Canaanite bloodline, which is the fourth seed of the Girgashite. The Girgashite is connected to the detrimental robotoid, the Deiru, these beings right here. So that's why you're not supposed to eat pork, because when you're basically eating pork, you're basically eating a human, so to speak. So these are the Tayro. The Tayro basically are security guards and police officers. They police these beings right here because these beings was grafted out of the pale version of these. So this is where you get the concept of the movie Coneheads. So when you're talking about the movie Coneheads, that's where they got this from. And you notice the garments, you know what I'm saying? Look at the garments. So when you look at some of Dr. York's illustrations, they're a direct emulation of some of these beings when you talking about the Anunnaki and things of that nature. So that's where they get these stories from. So you got the Deiro and the Tayro, right? And they come from planet Jamin and Arcturus star constellation, and they have 48 chromosomes. So that's why they have high kinetic telepathic ability. So that concept of a fez was really created by these beings right here, because the fez, it sends like a funnel of energy into the universe to where you can connect with the ethers. That's why they got a cone head, because they're tapped into the universal primordial source, because these beings right here, they was grafted out of the Danakil tribe. The Danakil tribe are the ones that was projected by the Anunnaki, and they went inside the surface of the earth, right? When you talk about hollow earth in Nargartha. Then you have these beings right here, the Dawanese. So if you ever watch Star Wars as a kid, this is where you get the concept of Ewoks. But in one of my videos that I put out maybe a couple months ago, I broke down the inception of these beings right here, because a lot of these beings, the Dawanese, they were basically gatekeepers of the planet Earth. They were gatekeepers of the pyramids in Egypt. They was gatekeepers of all the pyramids all around the planet, right? So, and they come from the Canis Major star constellation. And these are not malevolent creatures. You know what I'm saying? The Anunnaki created these beings to be gatekeepers. They were the watchers of children. And I'm going to prove that to you. Because everything I told you, everything they put in the movies is a direct emulation of what has already been on the planet. That already happened. We already know who these beings are right here. These are the Anunnaki, who came down to, the planet and jump-started humanity. These are the Fluga Lords, right? So don't confuse the Fluga Lords with the Canaanites of 4,000 years ago, which is the inception of the Bible. That's when the Bible was basically concocted in 4004 BCE, right? Which is approximately 6,000 years that's connected to the lunar cycle of the Piscean energy. So the devil's rule is up. So you got different types. You got you got different types of Caucasians. You got the Fluga Lords, then you got the Canaanites that was cursed with leprosy, then you got the detrimental robotoids, then you got the ones that was also created on Mars. Then you also, like I said, then you got some whites that was created from the Teru, and the Terus, you know what I'm saying? They're not bad people because those are the ones that the Anunnaki created, right? They was created from the source of the Danakil tribe. So they live in the underground caverns of the planet in Hollow Earth. Like I said, you got different sections. So when you're talking about the Danakil tribe, the Danakil tribe put these beings right here in slavery. So this is, basically the fathers of the Nordic race, and they live in the caverns of Antarctica. These are the rulers of Hollow Earth that is ruled by King Fiorkor, right? So this is where where you get the whole concept of the Bible in the Book of Genesis, which means genealogy of Isis, right? Which is the origins and production of something. These beings right here, when Yakub, this is where Yakub comes from. This is his bloodline. So the Danakil are benevolent beings that Admiral Byrd encountered in the underworld, and they occupy the city of Shambhala. The Terus live in the city next to them, which is the Rainbow City. So they also have a sun inside the planet as well, which is 600,000 miles in diameter, right? So that's why you got all these calamities and everything that's happening on the planet. So like I said, you going into the reptilian, you got different forms of reptilians. Like I said, not all reptilians are bad, but the great majority of them, when you're talking about the archons. So this gives a deep dive when you're talking about, if you want to understand what the inception of Draconian reptilians and what the hell is going on. So when you're talking about God, like I said, when you're talking about God, you're actually praying to the archons, which are Draconians. You're not praying to the Most High. So you got many different types of reptilians. See, these are the reptilian children of India. So you got the ostrich people in Zimbabwe and South Africa. Because they, you know what I'm saying, they're a part of a grafting process that took place. Different ones. Then you got the troglodytes, the Maldakians, who came from planet Valkon. So when the Biru crashed, because they also were these are the first your so-called grays. They crashed in the Bermuda Triangle. So that's why when they crash in the Bermuda Triangle, that's why the vast majority of those people in that geographical landmass, a lot of them are short because they amalgamated with some of the Nubians there. So when you're talking about the pygmies and the black twas and things of that nature, that's why they're so short. So a lot of your some of your oldest people on the planet are like, that tribe is like, anywhere from 4 foot to 5 feet tall. That's because they come from these beings right here, the troglodyte or the Maldakians. And then you got Zeta Reticula grays. There's different types